Hello friends! Yesterday I did a double feature and I saw The Fault in Our Stars and I saw Chef, and I wanted to kind of talk about those. So if you've ever read or seen anything or heard anything about The Fault in Our Stars, it's the story of Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Waters, who are both kids who have had or have currently cancer. They meet at a support group and it's kind of the story of both their love and their illnesses. It's the first John Green novel to be adapted into a film, and it's wonderful. Scott Nostetter and Michael H. Weber did a really good job, I think, of balancing factual fidelity, of which the film is filled with, and emotional fidelity, which is kind of the most important thing to me in an adaptation. It feels like how a film version of the book should feel. Not just what actually happens, but actually how it makes you feel and kind of the emotional tone of both the characters and the story and kind of everything in the world that has been created. And I think that they did a really good job. A++, guys. There are cuts to lines and scenes that are completely understandable but also very sad all at once. There are, however, weird false setups to lines and scenes. John Green writes in funny setups and funny replies, and that's kind of a trademark of his novels, of his writing style. And there were times that they would put the funny setup in, but not the funny reply. And so I spent the entire scene that the funny reply should be in waiting for the funny reply, and it wasn't there, and it was kind of disheartening and weird. The last sequence of the film where Hazel reads Augustus's letter, I did think that the music was really overpowering and it kind of took me out of the film, which sucked because, you know, it was the ending of the film and I would like to stay in the ending of the film until the very first credit comes up, but yeah. Moving on from TFIOS, let's talk about Chef. Chef is a Jon Favreau film which he wrote, directed, and stars in. The film is about Jon Favreau's character who is a chef in a restaurant that he does not own. He ends up getting a bad review from a really important LA food critic and kind of has a meltdown which goes viral on the internet and kind of ruins his career. And he's not really sure what he should do, so he decides to start from scratch. And it's kind of a road trip movie once you get to the starting from scratch part with him and his son and his best friend. It was really outstanding. I think that Jon Favreau really used the very talented cast that he had in really good and interesting and kind of funny ways, and I think that he did a really good job directing it. A lot of people will know Jon Favreau from directing the first 2 Iron Man films and from being in all 3 of them, but I think that this was a really nice way to kind of step away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and to kind of do his own thing, and it's obviously a very large passion project, and it shows. It's such a good film. Basically, I'm saying that you should see both films. I personally liked Chef a lot more. I felt like I got a lot more out of it, which might have been just because I'd already read The Fault in Our Stars, but I digress. You should see them both and let me know what you think. Other than just seeing those movies, I've also been reading quite a bit. I started the She-Hulk series. All I want from my life now is a She-Hulk legal show where it's like 93% legal drama and she's just green and fabulous. That's all I want. So good. You should read it. I've also been on a Greek mythology kick because I'm writing a pilot which has most of its first season mythology based in Greek mythology, and so I finally finished reading The Penelope Ad by Margaret Atwood. It's amazing. So very good. It's the first Margaret Atwood book I've ever read, and I am absolutely in love. And so since I finished it, I can finally start reading Song of Achilles, which I did this morning. And I am so excited about actual queer tellings of Greek mythology. Yes, please. Give me more. Thanks. Peace out, Cub Scouts. A show about the Veep, the Vice President of the United States of America, Selena Myers, and the ridiculous things in politics that happen in her office, and it's hysterical.